Hey guys, today we're back in the shed. We're going to put in the power folding mirrors into the S14. Basically I've got a few different mirrors floating around which 5-wire, you need the 5-wire ones to make it fold in. Factory on this car from the Australian model, they come with a 3-wire which is good for absolutely nothing apart from looking out your mirror. So long and short of it is we're going to put the folding mirrors in, put the heated mirrors to go with them as well. So sit back, enjoy, and here we go. Okay, so just to start off, there's 1, 2, 3 bolts under there, I think. 1, 2, 3, yep. So those have got to come off. That'll remove the rear hat and this part here. So basically what I'm doing here on this one is I'm going to use the original base, change the motor, change the glass, and then put back on the original hat here. Now this one's obviously got a mark on it, but this car's going to get painted soon anyway, so that's not too bad. So basically what you do, once you've got your 3 bolts off, the glass here, that will pop out, and the whole mechanism there, you can actually pull backwards as well. And then basically put your mount back on and do it all up that way. Now first what we'll do is I'll show you out in the sunlight because the light here is pretty bad. I'll show you how to pull that all apart, and then from there we'll go in and do the wiring behind the door cards. Okay, so unfortunately someone's had a go at this car, the car's mirrors I should say, sorry, and they're a bit too tight to get out. So what we're going to do is we'll jump ahead a step, we'll pull the door card off, which will then mean that we can get to the little corners in here a bit easier, and just pull it out, the whole assembly, and I'll disassemble it a bit further. Okay, so as you can see here, we've now got the 3 screws out. Basically this little plug here, it's what you just got to disconnect. So if we just go in here and pull that one out, that then goes all the way to there. So do it as the best as you can. Try and save these clips where you can as well. Obviously if you want to sell the mirror or keep it, it'll just be easier to do. If the mirror that you've got doesn't actually have this plug, try and keep it, because as you can see the 2 pins are in there, so you can splice it back in. I think I've got the plugs already, so I'm just going to pull it through and see how we go. So the next shot we'll go through will be the case removal and all the guts out of the mirror. Okay, so I've just come outside the shed, just a little bit easier to do it here. So that's the mirror off the car, that's the guts of the mirror that we're going to put in, and that's the passenger side. So I'm only going to go through this once, but it's just vice versa for the other side. So as you can see, this one's heated because it has that additional plug. If I get a shadow, that one there, so if we pick that up, we'll see around the back, just in there, it comes as a little piece of glass that has 2 wires that come out of it, and we'll put that through to, excuse the spider that's on that one, we'll put the wires through to the demister, so it all just demists at once, because I don't actually know if there is or isn't, but I don't have the loom that goes with this, so that's usually the easiest way to do it. They're the 3 screws on the bottom that were being challenging on that mirror, so let's get to it. All right, so as you can see, I've just popped off the glass. It literally pops off for anyone that doesn't know. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. They just lift off. So basically what you do from this point is, if you can see down there, there's one screw in the back just down there. There's another one down there, and there's 2 more on the other side. So what you got to do is you pull that, and then the whole assembly comes out. And I think this is where I've got it wrong, but I don't think you can actually use the plugs as they sit. You need to cut them. So I'll check that out in a second and get back to you with an update. Sorry, just one additional note. This spring in here and the screw, wherever it's run off to, there it is. That screw there needs to come out so you can get the front of that out. Sorry, just slipping all over the place. So that will then get you to get to those 4 that I'd mentioned earlier. All right, guys, so it's been a couple of weeks. I ended up having this assembly in there, but it turns out that that motor is blown. So unfortunately put it all together and it didn't work. So long story short is, what you can do is either zip down to the hobby shops. I'm sure that they're easy enough to get a hold of. They look relatively simple, these motors. But I didn't, so I waited for a new mirror to arrive, and that's it. So it's all pulled apart, and I got all the guts out of it to transfer it over to the mirror that is now installed. So basically what happened here was I wanted to test everything prior to doing a video and looking like a guy who doesn't know what he's talking about. Anyway, long story short is, here's the test run. So we're all together, and down here is the switch that's now installed. So you run 2 wires all the way under your dash into here, and 2 onto the other side. So it's very simple. The I think it was the pink and the orange wires need to go down to the switch. So one is positive to the mirror to push it one way, one is positive to push it back the other way. So anyway, further ado, now keep in mind my battery's very flat at the moment. How good is that? So there you have it. All in all, if I had all the right parts and everything running, it'd probably have taken me a couple of hours, maybe 4. But the trickiest bit is running the cable all under the dash down to here. Now, the reason I've got all that apart is whilst I was waiting for the new mirror, there's that flare up again. Whilst I was waiting for the new mirror, I've torn all this out in preparation for putting triple DIN gauges in. So these triple DIN gauges are factory fitted, and one is factory boost, one is factory oil pressure, and one is factory volts. So that just slides in down here. Now the luxury model that I've got came with a a double DIN radio, and I've pulled all that out, and I'm going to have to put an aftermarket one in because I'd rather run the gauges with an aftermarket stereo, look a bit nicer. Now obviously it doesn't match the Aussie compliant, the Aussie cluster. That's because the Japanese ones come with the white face dials there. Now with that one there, apparently they are different plugs, and I'm not chasing that one. I really can't be bothered losing 105 on my car just for white faces down there to match that. So that'll be in another video coming up soon. But otherwise, the long and short of it is, here we are, we're all running and everything's going well.